The year is 2019. Taylor Swift has the #1 album in the country. Lil Nas X just dropped the biggest song in the country. Patrick Mahomes just wins his first Super Bowl ring. And the Washington Redskins will be playing their final season as the Washington Redskins. And you know they had to go out with the stinker, with being 3-13 and the second worst team in the NFL. And also, this was the last year that the world would ever be normal again, as in 2020, we know the world pandemic happened. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another video, and in today's video, we're going to be redrafting the 2020 NFL Draft. A lot of teams took a lot of players that if you fast forward 3 years later and they could redo it, they probably wouldn't take that player. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers. We're trying to reach that as fast as possible. So please do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. It is totally free. Let's get straight into today's video. Alright y'all, so we got the 2020 draft class pulled up here. For Washington fans like myself, we try to forget this draft because right now it's looking like we fumbled it. We could have had Joe Burrow if we would have lost to the Dolphins, or we could have had Justin Herbert, man. So we try to look away at this draft, but we're going to redraft this thing and have a little bit of fun and see what changes has been made since these guys have been in the league 3 years later. So Washington is the #2 overall pick again, obviously, but Jeff Okudah is the #1 rated player in this draft class, and that's weird because Joe Burrow still exists, and I think Joe Burrow is obviously, without a doubt, still the first overall pick from this draft class. Washington's now on the clock. We took Chase Young. We're not doing that again if we have an opportunity to redraft. They would take a quarterback. Now, is it Jalen Hurts? Is it Justin Herbert? Is it Tua? Who is it going to be? I think Washington, if they knew Jalen Hurts was going to pan out to be what he is today, I think they take Jalen Hurts without a question. You can make a case for Justin Herbert, and that seems more of a Ron Rivera kind of guy, Justin Herbert. But I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts for the simple fact that I trust Scott Turner with Jalen Hurts more than I do Justin Herbert, honestly. And Jalen Hurts has the highest ceiling. So I'll go Jalen Hurts #2. #3, Justin Jefferson. Come on now. Justin Jefferson would be the 3rd overall pick. He wouldn't make it to the 20s. He wouldn't make it to Minnesota. He's going to Detroit at #3. #4, I think the Giants still going to take Andrew Thomas. They hit it out the park with Andrew Thomas, so I think they go him at #4. #5, they are going to take Justin Herbert. If they could do it all over again, I think Miami is going to take Justin Herbert over Tua. So they had an opportunity to do it in real life, and they chose Tua. But again, if they could do it over, they would go Justin Herbert. And then I think Tua is going to end up going to the next pick to LA. And then the Carolina Panthers, I think they honestly take Derrick Brown again. They could go cornerback. Trayvon Diggs is there, but I think they end up still going Derrick Brown. He's been really good for them in real life, so I think that is going to be their pick still. And #8, I think CeeDee Lamb goes to Arizona and teams up with his former college teammate and Kyler Murray. So I think CeeDee Lamb is there at 8. And then at #9, I got Trayvon Diggs going to Jacksonville. He doesn't make it to where he was in real life there in 2020 based off of his career performance. He's going to Jacksonville. #9, Cleveland. Cleveland is about to prepare. Remember, going back to 2020, it's in the midst of COVID. Later that year, Cleveland had a hell of a season, right? They went to the playoffs. They played the Pittsburgh Steelers and dogged them in the first round of the playoffs. So they are in for a really good year. Now, what do they do at 9? I have the draft class put up here on my phone. Let's see what they actually did in real life. So at 9, they went, or #10 rather, they went Jedrick Wills at #10. So I think they could potentially do that again. Jedrick Wills has been solid for them, one of the best tackles in the game. So I could see them taking Jedrick Wills again. Why not give them Jedrick Wills, right? And then at #10, or 11 rather, the Jets went Mekhi Becton. I could see Mekhi Becton going to them again. So you could potentially look at it and say maybe Chase Young goes here at number 3. Because again, the thing about Chase Young is he isn't trash. He's not terrible. He just hasn't lived up to the number 2 overall pick. So I think Chase Young is still worthy of being a first round pick. But do you take him at the pick if you're the Jets, or do you go Mekhi Becton to protect your future quarterback? And you know Zach Wilson came a year later, even though he hasn't been good. You still got Aaron Rodgers down your pipeline, so do you want to take Mekhi Becton? I think they go Mekhi Becton too, like they did in real life here, because again, later down the line, you need somebody that's going to protect that blind side. Mekhi Becton is able to play left and right tackle, and then the Jets, they also have another guy that they also drafted on that offensive line too, Ver Tucker, and all those guys. So I think Mekhi Becton is your pick here at left tackle. There, so another real life pick. That's 3 of the real life picks that is going to stay the same. Then Las Vegas is on the clock. They obviously are not going to take Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs obviously got into some off the field issues, so I think Las Vegas, they could potentially take another wide receiver. You know, maybe go Jerry Jeudy, T. Higgins. I think I'll give them T. Higgins. T. Higgins is obviously a first round pick, first round pick, and a number 1 receiver if they do this thing over again. Brandon Ayuk is another guy that I can see going back to his former team. Brandon Ayuk is really good, and again, he's another guy that's a wide receiver 1 on any other team. So I think Brandon Ayuk goes back there too. Goes to San Francisco, and then you go to Tampa Bay. They got Tom Brady. They need somebody to protect Tom Brady, right? So let's look at the offensive linemen still available here. They got obviously Tristan Wirfs there, so he could be another guy that goes to his real life team, and I think that's a no-brainer there. He goes to his real life team, and then at 15, you got Denver. Denver is going to be there, and they took Jerry Jeudy. I don't know if they take Jerry Jeudy again. Do y'all think they take Jerry Jeudy again? He's really good. He's been good for them. But you got some good cornerbacks available. C.J. Henderson, A.J. Terrell, who's been really good. Again, Chase Young is still on the board. So do you take Chase Young there at 16? Safeties is Xavier McKinney, Grant Delpit, Jeremy Chin. Based off of their careers, Jerry Jeudy's been good. But he hasn't had that breakout year. So, I think I still give them Jerry Jeudy. But I don't know if Broncos fans feel the same way. Maybe they're tempted to take somebody else. And then now at 17, the Falcons, they took A.J. Terrell. At 16, I keep getting it mixed up, bro. 16, they took A.J. Terrell. I could see them definitely taking A.J. Terrell again. Or maybe this is where Chase Young goes off the board. I see Chase Young still being a quality first round pick. You see, Dallas is coming up here. Dallas is going to take a cornerback because obviously they need a Trayvon Diggs. If they can do it over again, they're not going to get Trayvon Diggs, but they still need somebody that's going to solve that cornerback position. So Chase Young could have went to Dallas, but I don't know if they would have took a chance on him. I think for sure he would have been a Cowboy. He would have a chance to be a Cowboy if they were to do this over again. But again, they have a torn ACL coming down the pipeline. They got another guy coming down the pipeline. Another guy, Michael Parsons, coming down the pipeline. So how badly do you need Chase Young? You got DeMarcus Lawrence. So I don't see them doing that. I think I'm going to give the Falcons Chase Young, man. I think I'll give them Chase Young. And then Dallas, I'll give Dallas. Let's give them A.J. Terrell. Why not? And then Miami's back on the clock again. I think they end up going. Let's see who they went at their second pick in real life. They went Austin Jackson from USC, right? So they could look to upgrade that interior. Maybe go somebody else besides Austin Jackson. I know Austin Jackson hasn't necessarily been the best of a pick, but you could potentially go tackle maybe, or is Laramie Tunsil still part of their team at this point? I think they may have traded him already. I think I'll go for them. I think why not give them safety? Why not give them Jeremy Chin? Jeremy Chin's been a staple for that secondary there in Carolina. He's been really good. So why not give them Miami? Why not give Miami Jeremy Chin? Now that I think about it, Cameron Curl is obviously another guy that you got to think about when it comes to being first round pick. I think Cameron Curl has proven to be a first round worthy guy. So I'll give them Jeremy Chin. Even though I think Cameron Curl is the better safety, I'll give them Jeremy Chin because I just thought about it right on the spot. Cameron Curl is obviously another good guy there. They went T. Higgins, their first round pick, Las Vegas. Let's see what they did with their second pick at 19. They went Damon Arnett, their cornerback. So they were looking to upgrade their DBs, and we know how that panned out for them. I think all three of their first round picks from this draft class are no longer on the Vegas Raiders. So let me see. I'll give Vegas Cam Curl. Cam Curl has definitely been a really, really good guy for Washington. He's going to get paid this offseason. He's one of our best, if not our best, defensive player. He was a 7th round pick, but he definitely would be a first round pick. If not a first round pick, he'll be an early 2nd round pick if they can redo this thing over again. Then at 20, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they went K'Lavon Chaisson. So they were looking to upgrade that edge rushing position. Let's look at some edge rushers that's still available. He's still there. Uter Gross Matos is there. AJ Epinesa, Terrell Lewis is there. Let's see some safeties. Xavier McKinney. Xavier McKinney's been really good for the Giants, man. He's got to stay healthy, but he's like the heart and soul of that defense. So do I go safety again? Because honestly speaking, there's not no good quarterbacks left. They still got Derek Carr at this point. I mean, they don't have no quarterback at this point, but there is nobody there for Jacksonville to select. Again, Trevor Lawrence the next year, so nobody expects you to really be good. Wide receiver, Henry Ruggs is there. You could take Michael Pittman potentially because he is the wide receiver 1 there in Indianapolis. He could be a wide receiver 1 there in Jacksonville. And then now you look at it later, you ended up getting Calvin Ridley, who's going to be back this year. You ended up adding ETNs to that offense. You got Marvin Jones. So I think they go Michael Pittman here. That's a really solid pick for Jacksonville. And then they get Trevor Lawrence the following year. Philly, they ended up going with Jalen Reagor, right? So should I be an a-hole and give them Jalen Reagor again? It's like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. Philly, they ended up trading for DeAndre Swift later down the pipeline, right? So maybe they go cornerback here. They don't have no weapons at this point, so I think they still we're looking to add the wide receiver to the position, but there's nobody left worthy of a first round pick that are still wide receivers available. I think that was just the last good first round quality wide receiver. So Darnell Mooney's there, but I don't think he's worth a first round pick. So I think I'm gonna give Philly. Let's look at the D line right here. Javon Kinlaw, I think he could be really solid. Why not give them Javon Kinlaw? Then you got you got the Minnesota Vikings here. They obviously took Justin Jefferson. You know who's been really good? Neville Gallimore has been really, really good so far for the Dallas Cowboys. So I think why not give them Neville Gallimore and give them an interior defensive lineman? Why not give the Vikings an interior defensive lineman? Then you got the Patriots coming up here. Right now they're in that year after Tom Brady. Cam Newton is going to be their quarterback. So do you look to get Jordan Love to sit under Cam Newton? Maybe, you know. Or you could go let's see, another safety. Xavier McKinney is still there. He's not off the board. I'll give them Xavier McKinney. And then the Saints, they ended up going with who in real life? They ended up going with the Cesar Ruiz, their center. He's been a staple of that offensive line. So I'll give them Cesar Ruiz again. Why not? You know, he's been really good for them. And a center position is definitely underrated. You probably don't need to necessarily spend a first round pick on a center, but why not? You're there at 20. You're there in the later rounds anyway, around like 26, 25. So next up is the Minnesota Vikings again for their second round pick. They went Neville Gallimore the first time. I wanna give them a weapon, but again, it's nobody there that they would need. But you still got old Adam Thielen. You definitely need aging Adam Thielen, I should say, at that point. You still need a wide receiver 1. It's hard because there's not really nobody worthy of a first round pick. Like Chase Claypool had a really good start to his career. Do I give them Darnell Mooney, who is borderline a high wide receiver 2? So maybe he is that wide receiver 2 behind Adam Thielen, and then he could potentially grow into that wide receiver 1. I don't know. At 25, you don't know who you really want to get in the later rounds anymore. Then at 26, at 26 right here, for the Miami Dolphins, they are going to go ahead and potentially select. Let's look at the cornerback position. Jeff Okuda still there. CJ Henderson. So we're gonna CJ Henderson. Jeff Okuda obviously is slipping way down more than what we thought. Seattle was next up on the clock, and they ended up going with Jordan Brooks, their linebacker. There. Let's actually look at the linebackers here. Isaiah Simmons is still there. He slipped all the way down. Patrick Queen. I think that would be a really good fit there in Seattle. So why not give them Patrick Queen? And then Baltimore, their next pick, they obviously went Patrick Queen in real life. So they look to upgrade that linebacker position. Do they take a chance on Isaiah Simmons? Because again, Isaiah Simmons has not necessarily been terrible, but he just hasn't been a good fit there in Arizona. So I'll give them Isaiah Simmons. Why not? I think Isaiah Simmons could be a very good player there in Baltimore. And in Tennessee, they ended up going with Isaiah Wilson, the tackle. Let's go with for them. They have AJ Brown, but he later down the pipeline, you see that he isn't going to be there in Tennessee. Still got Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill's cool. Do you give them Jordan Love that he could potentially sit behind Ryan Tannehill for a couple years, or do you go cornerback? Because you definitely need some cornerback help. You took Caleb Farley, but he turned out to not really be good. Injury prone guy. Not necessarily that he's not good, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy, so you can't really see what he has in him. Do you end up going safety? Still Grant Delpit is there. Antoine Winfield Jr. is there, Super Bowl winning safety in his first year. So I'll end up giving him Grant Delpit. And then I'll finish the 30th overall pick. These last couple ones, Noah, the cornerback, or not the cornerback, but rather Green Bay taking Jordan Love. So I don't think they did the trade up scenario because they obviously traded up in real life for Jordan Love. They didn't do that here, so I don't think they take Jordan Love actually if they do it over again. But then again, guys, they end up trading Aaron Rodgers. So do you take Jordan Love? You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't know the future of Aaron Rodgers. Again, he's gone, right? So do you take Jordan Love, or do you thug it out for a year, and then when Aaron Rodgers finally leaves, which happens to be this season, do you get a rookie quarterback in the draft this year, try to trade up for one, or find your way into the top round picks, trying to get one of the early guys, maybe Anthony Richardson? I don't know. It's a lot of things that you can't really try to predict for 3 years in the future. But you know what? I'll give them Jordan Love because they seem to be riding with him now. So why not? And then 49ers, they 31 overall pick. They took Brandon Ayuk their first time. You know what? I would love to see DeAndre Swift in San Francisco. So I'll give them DeAndre Swift, and they obviously went Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't see them doing that again. Let's give them Jonathan Taylor. So we'll call it a day.
We the kings of the East, I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. The DMV behind you, commanders. Now it's time to step in the field and take command. 1932, we was established. We been running the NFC East every year after life. We got the best fans in the league. You cut through our skin, it's burning gold where we bleed. Cause hell to the commanders, we the best in the league. We fight for DC and the whole DMV. We got a new name but still got the same rings though. We got a new name but still on the same mission though. And that's the one it's about when we fall back to the city.